Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a collaborative video with a couple of wonderful YouTubers. So the organizer of this is Steve over at the Lawn Gnome, who does a series on his channel every month called 10 for 12. And he asked me and Cherry Walker to collaborate with him on a December collaboration, which is the 10 events that shaped 2016. I will link both of their channels down below, so definitely go check those out because they are both amazing and I love their channels. And definitely check out their events that shaped 2016. I know that Steve focused more on news stories, and Cherry did sort of what I'm going to do, which is a mix of news and personal things. So my 2016 was first and foremost shaped by the fact that my husband and I both got new jobs. So I switched jobs in April. My husband got a new job in January, and it has done great things for our lives, and it has also caused a little bit of stress because we have opposite schedules right now. At one point we had sort of similar schedules because mine actually can change from quarter to quarter. He works nights a lot, so it has been an adjustment for sure, but overall has been really positive for us that we both have moved on to different things from our previous jobs. So that is number one. Number two, I think if you watch my channel, you probably have seen and heard a ton about this, but in, I believe it was July or June, we ended up sort of adopting a feral cat colony and trying to socialize them because one of our neighbors, their cat had kittens and they just sort of abandoned them. So we decided that, you know, we couldn't just sit back and watch some adorable kittens starve to death because those animals did nothing to deserve that. So we decided to take it upon ourselves to feed them, and as they sort of gained our trust, or we gained their trust, and they let us touch them and pet them and pick them up, we ended up taking them to get fixed so they won't create more feral cat colonies. And then this winter we've got them a little warm house for them to sleep in, and they are just the sweetest. They're still a little skittish. They don't like any humans that are not me or my husband, and sometimes they think that we are different humans and they don't like us, but overall they do let us pet them and everything, which is really great, and they are very happy and healthy, and that is all I can ask for. So yeah, number two is cats. The election in the United States. So I don't really have a whole lot to say on that except dear Lord help us for the next 4 years. That is all. But on that same line, one of the things that really kind of shaped 2016 for me, and I think for a lot of women that I know, is the fact that a woman was able to run for president as a major candidate and was taken seriously. And yes, there was a lot said about her that in my opinion wouldn't necessarily have been said about a man had they done the exact same thing, and historically they have done a lot of the same things that she was accused of and that she did. But it was inspiring to me, and I think to a lot of especially moms with young children or young girls, to see that it is possible, and that, you know, sooner than we may have even imagined, there could be a woman in the White House as something other than the First Lady. So that was definitely something that inspired me. So another heartbreaker this year has been the loss of so many pop culture icons and just wonderful, good people in general. I know for myself, the two that hit me the hardest were Alan Rickman and Carrie Fisher. So Alan Rickman has been somebody that I just have always really admired as an actor and as a human. Just when you hear people talk about him as a person, he was just such an incredible man. And then just as part of Harry Potter and the part that he played in making one of the characters in Harry Potter come to life, he just, I remember the day that I found out, I cried at my desk. I just sat there and cried because I couldn't believe it, and it came out of nowhere. You know, no one knew really that he was suffering, so that was really shocking and sad. And then of course Carrie Fisher, I just think that she has been such an inspiration. So I watched Star Wars, I started watching it as a very young girl, and I always found Leia to be such an inspiring character because she was such a badass, and she didn't take no for an answer, and she wasn't portrayed as like some weak damsel in distress. Yes, they went to rescue her, but she basically called them an idiot when they did, took their blaster and started, you know, fighting. So it just, her character in the Star Wars movie to me was really inspiring, and even more so in the new one, just as General Organa, she has become this just powerhouse who has dealt with so many things in her life but has remained a fighter throughout. But then as a person outside of her career, Carrie Fisher has been an incredible advocate for normalizing mental health. So bringing attention to the fact that we shouldn't hide mental health behind a curtain, that we should be talking about it, that it is important to normalize getting help for mental health in our culture, which I think we have a long, long way to go, and I'm so sad that we've lost such an amazing advocate. Speaking of pop culture, this year was sort of like the return into the world of Harry Potter. My dad and I used to go to midnight book releases together, and then we would go home and read the books and then call each other and talk about them. I would never answer his phone call until I had finished the book myself. So we went together to the midnight release for The Cursed Child, and I did read it that weekend, and it was a thing. And while I don't necessarily, I kind of wish that had never been written or published as a book. I did enjoy being able to feel that excitement again, and I think that, you know, obviously going into Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which was amazing. I loved it, and I love coming at the world of Harry Potter, the magical world, from a different angle and a different set of characters is such a wonderful, interesting thing, and I can't wait to learn more. And I just have really been pleased with, I was pleased with the movie, and I'm very pleased with the direction that it is going. And I like being able to have something like that to look forward to and to go to and to just relive those wonderful movie moments that I had as a teenager going into, you know, my adulthood. So another thing that happened entertainment-wise this year was the Olympics, and I have always been a big watcher of the Olympics. I prefer the Winter Olympics over the Summer Olympics, but I definitely love to watch them and love to just see the incredible power that these athletes have, and just, you know, the work they put in to becoming the best at what they do. And it's just such a fascinating, you know, spectacle to watch and to root for, and I'm always the one rooting for the underdog. Yes, I like to see my country win medals, but at the same time I like to see the people who work really hard or have really wonderful, inspiring stories win as well. So it's just a great year for the Olympics. There were a lot of wonderful, inspiring stories there to watch. And then another sad news moment was the forest fires in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I am from Tennessee. Gatlinburg has been a big part of my life ever since I was a child. My parents took their honeymoon there. My friends, we would go there on spring break, and actually the area that was hit hardest during the fires was somewhere that I had stayed with my friends and with my husband at one point. And it is a beautiful area, and just the devastation that happened there was heartbreaking, but I have loved to see the support that has come and rallied around it. That's one thing that, you know, looking back even at the floods in Nashville many years ago, Tennessee is really good at supporting each other. So we are the volunteer state, and we volunteer our time, our money, our things to help other people, and that was a great thing to see come out of such a terrible event. one item on my list that is both news related and also very personal is that this year the president of my university, Hollins, is retiring. She'll be retiring basically at the end of this school year, which is in 2017. But this was the year that the Board of Trustees really started looking for a new president for our university. And if you know anything about the kind of climate of women's colleges, single-sex universities in this country, there are very few left. And to me, as a women's college graduate, it is very important that Hollins and its legacy continues. And Nancy Oliver Gray, who has been our president since I was a freshman, so she was inaugurated when I was a freshman in 2004. She has been such an incredible, just powerhouse for single-sex colleges and universities. But she's also been just a wonderful influence and just inspiration for the Hollins community. Well, she's retiring, and so when we all heard about that, it was sort of a hold your breath kind of moment, wondering who was going to take her place and who could step into her shoes and really be what Hollins needs at this time. And I am so thrilled with the choice that they made. Our university hired a woman by the name of Purina Lawrence, and she has just an incredible basically biography. Looking back at what she's done and who she is as a person is a very exciting thing. But then even on top of that, another really exciting aspect is for the first time our university is going to have a person of color as the president and the face of the university, which is so exciting. And she is just going to be so wonderful in so many aspects for the growth and the future of my alma mater, which is a big deal to me and definitely was something that I worried about throughout the process, and now feel very, very safe and excited for what's to come. And the last one is one that I think has gotten a lot of people up and exercising, as definitely has encouraged my husband and I to do just that, and that is Pokemon Go. We have been big players of Pokemon Go. I know at this point it's kind of, you know, sloped down and leveled off. We are still in it. I don't play nearly as much as I did when it first came out, but we do have fun regularly. You know, a few times a month we'll go out, the two of us, and just spend an entire day playing Pokemon Go and just spending time with each other, going on walks, hikes, that kind of thing. It has been a lot of fun. He was a really big fan of the original Pokemon. He actually, so he had a Game Boy, and the only game he ever had was Pokemon Red. Like, he literally had no other Game Boy games. He had a Game Boy and Pokemon Red, and he played it all the time. And so it has been really fun for me to play it with him because he has such a history with the game, whereas I knew nothing about it. He always made fun of me because when I would pronounce the Pokemon's names, I had no idea. I would just spit out whatever came out, what it looked like, or what the word looked like to me, and 9 times out of 10 I was very wrong. So it's been a lot of fun, a bonding experience for us, and also an excuse to get out and get moving, because I'm gamify anything and I am so there for it. The predecessor to Pokemon Go was Ingress, and I tried playing that, but I didn't find it as interesting because you weren't catching cute things. You were just fighting with other people, and it got to be such an animosity around Ingress that I haven't seen with Pokemon Go nearly as much. So yeah, I have loved playing that, and has definitely shaped our year for sure. So I'd love to hear what some of the events that shaped your 2016 were. You can definitely leave those down in the comments so that we can chat. And go check out Steve's channel as well as Cherry's and watch their videos. Again, they're just wonderful people, and it was fun to collaborate with them. And I hope you guys are enjoying the last few days of 2016, and I hope you have a happy new year.